Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at the Mafex Black Costume Symbiote Spider-Man. First we're going to take a look at the figure and then we're going to compare with other figures. So first, the accessories. It comes with this extra angry looking kind of head sculpt, which also looks kind of McFarlane inspired. The other one is even much more, I would say, directly McFarlane inspired. I don't know exactly which artist this head is from, but I like it. I like the big eyes. Yeah, I mean the angry look is, I think, really nicely made. It has some blue shading. The whole figure has that. We got the unmasked Peter Parker hat, which I can say is a bit more improved than the last time that we got with the regular Spider-Man and also the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. But still, I think it's not that good. I mean, if you look at the head sculpt, the paint is sloppy, like it's not that good, but still good for a Mafex figure because Mafex unmasked hats usually suck. So they are improving. I'm glad still we got this. I think it's fine. I mean, some angles from straight when you look like this, it's okay. From the sides, I don't like it that much. From back, I don't like it that much. But I like they put like Symbiote here. That's really nice touch. Beard is nice. He looks a bit tired. Yeah, when he was in Secret Wars, in space, Peter Parker. So, two head sculpts, and what is different than the other Spider-Man releases is this backpack, which is really nice. I mean, it has some textures like a tennis ball kind of texture. You know, no, not tennis ball, but yeah, you know what I mean. This. And the webbing is just the same sculpt as the other webbings that they gave us before, but it's not that flexible, so I'm afraid if it breaks or something. So as you can see, it's like the same thing exactly, and it wasn't that flexible, so this is not flexible as well. And we get all the hands and everything like we get with the other figures, but this time we're getting this clear pack, so the hands are not so, the holes are not so small anymore when it stays intact. So then you can change it easily without breaking the pegs. So the back magnet feet and everything, they're also blue painted underneath. That's great. So now we're gonna take a closer look at the figure, which looks really great, I would say. So there is a slight shading of blue, not a lot, but slight. But that's good. So I wouldn't want it very, very, very blue, because yeah, I mean, it's at the end, it's black costume Spider-Man. It's not blue costume Spider-Man, as you can see. A little bit on the back as well, so it's not just on front. There's also on the back, which is good. And the neck, on the shoulders, and the feet is blue, just like on the comic books. That's great. And the eyes are really, really Todd McFarlane arts. So I am really happy that, like, that's my favorite look for Black Costume Spider-Man. That's my favorite costume for Spider-Man and my favorite character. So this figure is really like gonna be my favorite figure of all time, probably. The Spider logo isn't that painted that clear, as you can see here on the side. That's not acceptable for an expensive figure. So, and that's almost the only paint on the figure. So eyes, except the eyes and the blue shading. So I'm kind of unsatisfied with that. On the other side, it's also not that clear. In the middle is clear, and on the back actually it is more clear, but still it's a bit sloppy. It's not so clean. So I'm disappointed about that. But other than that, I think the figure is great. The articulation is great. It's just like the other figures. And I'm gonna show some poses now. Yeah, so just a quick superhero landing pose. So it is no different than all the other Spider-Mans from Mafex. You can do really creative things with it, and it looks great. And when you make like web swinging poses like this, it's gonna look great with the blue fit, just like on the comic book. And the backpack doesn't look so bad. I mean, it doesn't fit that good here when you put the arms up. But yeah, I mean, it's not so bad. My problem is here the legs are kind of too spread apart and I cannot make it like get close together. They pop out. I don't know how it was with other Spider-Man figures. As we can try here. Yeah, they're also not so far apart, but they're also far apart, but not that much. I have the feeling. Let's compare. So it is, I think, slightly more the space here with the black Spider-Man somehow. I don't know if it's because the joints are still too tight or am I doing something wrong. So when it's like this, it works, but when I want to put it higher, they turn to pop off. So that's kind of weird. We will get in the comparison with other Spider-Man later, but let's check some more poses. So if you put the arms down, the backpack is gonna look better. Oh, it just snapped. Okay, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It just broke. It was not so flexible, so I knew this was gonna happen. I just put the arm down and yeah, that sucks. I mean, you can still use it, but this is gonna be hard to glue since it's very small plastic. I mean, it can break again. So let's just do another pose, maybe a kicking pose. I like this to make this pose with my Spider-Man figures. Yeah, blue fit is gonna shine all the time. This is great. This is so nice. It's just simple but really nice. And the blue shading. Or a jumping pose like this. I really enjoy posing and making some extreme poses with my Spider-Man figures. So something like this. The head can look up very high, so that's great. That's nice. So the articulation is really fine. Let's try the other head sculpts. First, the angrier one. I mean, this also looks angry, but McFarlane angry. I don't know which artist the other one you can say, but it kind of looks angrier on my perspective. And yeah, I cannot decide which one I like more actually. They both are really nice. I just like this because it's the McFarlane art style. But when I look at this, it also looks great. And for the other head sculpt, you have to take the neck off completely because you got a new neck. And I have to say this looks great as well. It's just like the first appearance of Black Costume Spider-Man from the Secret Wars comic books. It looks great. It looks really nice actually. I have to admit, from far away it doesn't look so bad. But when you get close, you see the paint being sloppy or too much shading kind of. It's weird. It's like soft texture. But when you look from far away, it doesn't bother you that much, yeah. So that's great. Let's put back the normal original head sculpt that came with the box. I'm not gonna show all the web effects, they're all the same. There's nothing new there. So let's compare with some other Spider-Man. We start first with the Mesco. There you go. Black Costume Spider-Man, and yeah, as you can expect, it's much bigger, much bulkier, less articulation, and I would say this is an outdated figure. I saw many people broke their costume, it like peels off, so I try not to pose him so much. And they're like kind of the same price point, I guess. Or Mesco is even more expensive, but yeah, I mean, because it was an exclusive, I guess. I can say this guy's much better, so both premium, but I prefer the Mafex one. And this is more like the Secret Wars style. And Marvel Legends one actually holds up very good compared to the Mafex one. It has no shading, but the Spider logos is really clean on this copy. I had like this figure several times, maybe 3-4 times, and the logo wasn't that clean, but this one is actually very clean. Cleaner than the Mafex one. So that kind of sucks, as you can see. There is some black spots, but at least straight, you know, it's painted straight and not... This is like sculpted, of course. This is not sculpted on, but this is out of the sculpt. So that sucks. I had that problem with the Ben Reilly Mafex Spider-Man as well, and that's kind of irritating. But this figure is like, I mean, half expensive, so it still does a big job, I would say. Good job. It's bulkier again. Mafex is going to be always smaller than the Marvel Legends. But this is also a different interpretation, so this is more like the Secret Wars, just like the Mesco one. And yeah, different eyes, different, everything different actually. The logo is still partly different. As you can see here, down here is a big gap, here's a small gap, so different artist interpretations. And yeah, the hands are also painted white. But yeah, Mafex is still much smaller, which I prefer for a Spider-Man. I mean, when you put it next to other Marvel Legends characters, I think Mafex is going to look much better than this one. I think this is a tad bit too tall and bulky for Spider-Man, but it's able to make many poses just like Mafex, which is great. And the older Marvel Legends Spider-Man, I think this is really outdated. The Pizza Spidey body mold. So it has kind of gaps here, and the arm here, a big gap. Can't put it really close. We thought using the butterfly joints kind of. But the size is closer, so it's more a slender look. So partly I still like this figure because it looks slender. And the eyes are also more like McFarlane eyes. No shading again, so blue shading would be necessary for Marvel Legends as well, I think. Then it would be much more worth. So as you can see, it's slender, so it's similar. Maybe this is the best comparison you can do actually. Cheaper version of the Mafex one. Yeah. And next to Mafex reissue regular blue and red costume. I think they look great together. The eyes fit to each other, you know. Big, bulky eyes. And the head sculpt is updated partially, so it's not the same sculpt. The body is the same sculpt. They just removed the sculpted webbing, I think. Same engineering, so they put the new spider logo. But the head is completely new. The shape you can see. Maybe I zoom in. It's a completely different shape. And this kind of looks weird, I think. Look at this, I mean. This looks more like human head, I would say. It's bigger on the back. It's not just straight down like this. And nose here, up there's a smaller gap. Not small, but there's a small gap there, yeah. So it makes the angry look there. So they sculpted a space there, you can say. So it looks angrier, which I like. And when you look at close by, they are really nice. They are really nice looking together, yeah. Two of my favorite Spider-Man figures, probably. And I like the blue, metallic blue on this figure. And I said before that articulation is same. Same thing with Ben Reilly. Maybe I show all of them together like this, so you can see how they look all together. And zoom in. Really, really nice. And Ben Reilly's logo was also not painted well, so I painted it over with Sharpie. I'm glad they sculpted the logo, but I wish they can paint it better. And the head is different again. This was, I guess, also updated. It's not the same as the reissued, but it needed another update, and I think this is much better. So same body mold, everything same. And this guy's arms are like loose. It was in a pose for a long time. I don't know, maybe if I put it in a cold water or something and it's gonna get tighter. I don't know, but and this one was too tight and it got also a bit loose, but it's good. Like this is good now. So it doesn't feel like it's gonna break. It was too tight. I felt like it's gonna break. The plastic quality felt a bit less than this one. And this one is improved again, I have the feeling. So they keep improving. I can say this feels more smooth. You hear some sounds, it's a bit tight, but it's new. So I think I don't feel like it's gonna break. It feels good. I mean, the backpack break, but yeah, that was obvious. So yeah, I'm really not afraid that this guy's gonna break. So let's compare it to the Mafex Venom. So I know many people are concerned about the height, and I think it's fine compared to Spider-Man, but if you put different characters next to Venom, it's gonna look weird. it should have been still bigger. So, and the blue shading is like all over the place. This is like just small pieces of blue everywhere. But this one is like, it's not completely black. I have the feeling there is blue everywhere. And this looks more black, which I like. So Spider-Man is looking much more better with the shading, I have to say. But the blue, not blue, the spider logo is much more clean here. So this is a bit thinner, of course, to the spider legs, but still, they should have done it better. And the eyes here sculpted inside, just like this one. But I have the feeling the Spider-Man's head look also better. The white is kind of shiny, the spider lens. So that's great, actually. I just realized that. It shines a bit, it's not matte like the Venom, but it makes sense the Venom has more matte finish because this is like more of a costume, spider costume, and this is more like a symbiote at the end. Yeah, I think they look good together. Just it could be a bit taller, because when we bring Carnage there, I put some custom tendrils on. Carnage is taller than Venom, and that's weird. It's like in the Venom movie, the second movie, which sucked. I also didn't like that. But yeah, Carnage and Spider-Man I think look nice together. The size difference is fine. So I'm happy how they look. I have almost now every 6-inch Spider-Man, black costume Spider-Man in my collection. Maybe I'll make a video one day showing all of them. And I have to say this is the best one so far. When I talk about the price also, I believe this is the best. Maybe then comes the Marvel Legends one. That is worth the price. Mesco is not so worth the price. And so, if you can get them both. If you can't, the Marvel Legends is okay. But this guy is going to be much worth in the future, I believe. I think it's, yeah. Mafex is always the best with Spider-Man figures, definitely. And this is no disappointment, except the spider logo not being clean. Alright, that's it for today. See you in the next one. This video, I'm doing it actually for the second time, because the first one got corrupted somehow, so it was kind of repeating myself.